Happy Friday. I hope you guys are having a wonderful week, a wonderful start to the day. I guess into the day now. It's 4 o'clock. I needed some extra rest this morning, so I slept until about noon. I was taking phone calls, but I was asleep. And then I had my positive affirmations on, so I sleep with like, you're beautiful, you're kind, you're wonderful, everything's working out for you. And so I had that going until about noon. So basically, it's about noon for me now, had I woke up at 8 a.m. Okay, enough of me. Oh shoot, now I'm getting a call, hold on. You know what time it is. It is storming so bad. Did y'all see the pop of lightning? It's literally 4 o'clock and I have a photography light on, but that's how dark it is. I have the windows wide open. All right, that's enough. Enough of my rambling. Genesis chapter 18. The Lord appeared to Abraham at the oaks of Mamre while he was sitting at the entrance of his tent during the heat of the day. He looked up and he saw three men standing near him. When he saw them, he ran from the entrance of the tent to meet them, bowed to the ground, and said, "My Lord, if I have found favor with you, please do not go on past your servant. Let a little water be brought that you may wash your feet and rest yourselves under the tree. I will bring a bit of bread so that you may strengthen yourselves. This is why you have passed your servant's way. Later you can continue on." "Yes," they replied, "do as you have said." So Abraham hurried into the tent and said to Sarah, "Quick, knead 3 measures of fine flour and make bread." Abraham ran to the herd and got a tender choice calf. He gave it to a young man who hurried to prepare it. Then Abraham took curds and milk as well as the calf that he had prepared and set them before the men. He served them as they ate under the tree. "Where is your wife Sarah?" they asked him. "There in the tent," he answered. The Lord said, "I will certainly come back to you in about a year's time, and your wife Sarah will have a son." Now Sarah was listening at the entrance of the tent behind him. What? I'm sorry. The Lord appeared, and he looked up and he saw 3 men. But I thought if you saw the face of God, you would surely die. Okay, I'm gonna keep reading. Y'all already know how I'm reading this. I'm like, huh? Genesis chapter 18, verse 10. The Lord said, "I will certainly come back to you in about a year's time, and your wife Sarah will have a son." Now Sarah was listening at the entrance of the tent behind him. Abraham and Sarah were old and getting on in years. Sarah had passed her age, the age of childbearing. So she laughed to herself. "After I am worn out and my Lord is old, will I have delight?" But the Lord asked Abraham, "Why did Sarah laugh, saying, 'Can I really have a baby when I'm old? Is anything impossible for the Lord? At the appointed time, I will come back to you, and in about a year she will have a son." Sarah denied it. "I did not laugh," she said, because she was afraid. But he replied, "No, you did laugh." What is up with her? Why does she get on my nerves? She's such a liar. She lied before, talking about you in 16 verse 2, "Since the Lord has prevented me from bearing children." And then she was like, where is it? "You are responsible for my suffering." Women really don't have a good look in this whole chat, because we the ones that got us in original sin, right? With the apple, with the fruit. And now she's lying, like multiple times of her lying. Okay. I hate liars. I detest liars. I cannot stand it. Like, I'm single. Well, I'm single. I'm not dating anyone. I'm not talking to anybody right now. And the men that I talk to, they lie so early on, and they do not realize, like, as soon as you lie to me, I'm done. I'm finished. I'm gone. You'll never hear from me again. Once a liar, always a liar. If you lie about something small, you'll lie about something big. If I find out that you lied about something in my neurodivergent mind, I just assume everything you ever said was a lie. Because you're a liar. So how could I ever believe you? Okay, back to the text. God, that really annoyed me. I can't believe she tried to lie to God. Or the Lord. Is the Lord God? Because I thought you couldn't see him and keep living. Okay, Genesis chapter 18, verse 16. The men got up from there and looked out over Sodom, and Abraham was walking with them to see them off. Then the Lord said, should I hide what I am about to do from Abraham? Abraham is to become a great and powerful nation, and all the nations of the earth will be blessed through him. For I have chosen him so that he will command his children and his house after him to keep the way of the Lord by doing what is right and just. Amen. This is how the Lord will fulfill to Abraham what he promised him. Then the Lord said, the outcry against Sodom and Gomorrah is immense, and their sin is extremely serious. I will go down to see if what they have done justifies the cry that has come up to me. If not, I will find out. The men turned, okay, so I'm also having trouble with, I thought the God was omnipresent and saw everything and heard everything and knew everything. But the more I read, it's like, not really. Like he has to go find things out. Like, doesn't he know everything? The men turned from there and went toward Sodom while Abraham remained standing before the Lord. Abraham stepped forward and said, will you really sweep away the righteous with the wicked? What if there are 50 righteous people in the city? Will you really sweep it away instead of sparing the place for the sake of the 50 righteous people who are in it? You could not possibly do such a thing, to kill the righteous with the wicked, treating the righteous and the wicked alike. You could not possibly do that. Won't the judge of the whole earth do what is just? You know, now that I'm reading this and going back to when they were in Mesopotamia, and the Mesopotamian, most of them were idolatrous, and they were the only few Christians there. I wonder if that is why he ends up saying what he's about to say, now that I did more research on it, because they were the small amount of righteous people in an idolatrous land at one point. All right. Genesis chapter 18, verse 25. You could not possibly do such a thing, to kill the righteous with the wicked, treating the righteous and the wicked alike. You could not possibly do that. Won't the judge of the whole earth do what is just? The Lord said, if I find 50 righteous people in the city of Sodom, I will spare the whole place for their sake. Then, we know what happened. Then Abraham answered, since I have ventured to speak to my Lord, even though I am dust and ashes. Ooh, amen. Suppose the 50 righteous lack 5. Will you destroy the whole city for the lack of 5? He replied, I will not destroy it if I find 45 there. Then he spoke to him again. Suppose 40 are found there. He answered, I will not do it on account of 40. Then he said, let my Lord not be angry, and I will speak further. I swear that's something I would do. I'm like, can I take maybe a little bit more. Suppose 30 are found there. He answered, I will not do it if I find 30 there. Then he said, since I have ventured to speak to my Lord, suppose 20 are found there. He replied, I will not destroy it on account of 20. Okay, master negotiator. All right, we started here. We really want to be here, but let me start here. Then he said, let my Lord not be angry, and I will speak one more time. This is what he really wanted. Suppose 10 are found there. He answered, I will not destroy it on account of 10. When the Lord had finished speaking with Abraham, he departed, and Abraham returned to his place. Oh, that's so beautiful. Genesis chapter 19. The two angels entered Sodom in the evening as Lot was sitting in Sodom's gateway. When Lot saw them, he got up to meet them. He bowed with his face to the ground. Oh, I wonder if he knew Lot was there. He probably did. I have to go back and check, but hold on. Because I think they said it when they split, right? Okay, so Lot chose, I'm in Genesis chapter 13. So Lot chose the entire plain of the Jordan for himself. Then Lot journeyed eastward and they separated from each other. After Lot had separated from him, the Lord said to Abraham, dang, I thought it said where he ended up being. Guess what we're gonna do? We're gonna ask Google, cause I love Google. Did Abraham know that Lot was in Sodom? Yes, Abraham absolutely knew that Lot was in Sodom. He had previously gathered his forces to rescue Lot when the city was attacked by rival kings. And when God revealed his plan to destroy Sodom, Abraham immediately pleaded with God to spare the city. Because Abraham was aware Lot lived there, his famous bargaining with God, asking to spare the city, was an attempt to save his nephew's life. It's the close reading. This text is very complicated. I swear, I feel like I'm reading Lord of the Rings because there's so many intricate, like, backstories, stories over here, stories over there, stories over here, and they're like intertwining. And I've also read Genesis like 4 times. I think the first 3 times I was trying to read the Bible, I could not keep focus on it. But with this, so last year I said I wanted to be closer to God. And let me tell you, don't say that unless you're ready to go to hell and back. Okay? I said I wanted to be close to God. He was like, you sure about that? The people I thought loved me did not love me. God was like, let me show you. Damn, last year almost killed me. But in this journey to get closer to God, I have decided I want to read the Bible. And so the first few times I've tried to read it, I did not get that far. I did not understand everything. And reading it aloud to y'all, it's like, it's coming alive. I don't know how to explain it. Maybe that's how to explain it. Okay. Because I didn't even put that together until just now that Abraham knew Lot was there. All right. I shall continue. I know I'm a little bit over, but it's getting good. Okay, Genesis chapter 19. The 2 angels entered Sodom in the evening as Lot was sitting in Sodom's gateway. When Lot saw them, he got up to meet them. He bowed with his face to the ground and said, my lords, turn aside to your servant's house, wash your feet, and spend the night. Then you can get up early and go on your way. No, they said, we would rather spend the night in the square. But he urged them so strongly that they followed him and went into his house. He prepared a feast and baked unleavened bread for them, and they ate. Before they went to bed, the men of the city of Sodom, both young and old, the whole population surrounded the house. They called out to Lot and said, where are the men who came to you tonight? Send them out to us so we can have sex with them. God, that's so creepy. That's so weird. Lot went out to them at the entrance and shut the door behind him. He said, don't do this evil, my brothers. Look, I've got 2 daughters who haven't been intimate with a man. I'll bring them out to you and you can do whatever you want to them, which is crazy. This is so crazy to me. Like, Do the women have no rights? Instead of y'all having sex with the men that you plan to have sex with, I'm going to give you my 2 virgin daughters. Fuck you. That's awful. I never understood that passage. I guess he was trying to save their lives. But I'm not going to give you my children to save your no. I don't have kids, but I'm not going to give you my kids for you to abuse them. Okay. Back to the text. Look, I've got 2 daughters who haven't been intimate with a man. I'll bring them out to you and you can do whatever you want to them. However, don't do anything to these men because they have come under the protection of my roof. Get out of the way, they said, adding, this one came here as an alien, but he's acting like a judge. Now we'll do more harm to you than to them. They put pressure on Lot and came up to break down the door. Goddamn. But the angels reached out, brought Lot into the house with them, and shut the door. They struck the men who were at the entrance of the house, both young and old, with blindness, so that they were unable to find the entrance. Then the angel said to Lot, do you have anyone else here, a son-in-law, your sons and daughters, or anyone else in the city who belongs to you? Get them out of this place. For we are about to destroy this place, because the outcry against this people is so great before the Lord, that the Lord has sent us to destroy it. So Lot went out. And what's so crazy is what we just read was God was like, well, let me see what's going on first. And it only took 1 minute. They just had a piece of bread and they've already shown they need to be destroyed. God, that's crazy. And he was trying to save them. I feel like there's a message in there, like the Lord sends us so many opportunities for us to be saved before eternal damnation. I think that's the message. We got to learn to take the saving. Here, I'm going to pause it. So Genesis 19, verse 14. So Lot went out and spoke to his sons-in-law who were going to marry his daughters. Get up, he said, get out of this place, for the Lord is about to destroy the city. But his sons-in-law thought he was joking. At daybreak, the angels urged Lot on, get up, take your wife and your 2 daughters who are here, or you will be swept away in the punishment of the city. But he hesitated because of the Lord's compassion for him. The men grabbed his hand, his wife's hand, and the hands of his 2 daughters. They brought him out and left him outside the city. As soon as the angels got them outside, one of them said, run for your lives. It's an exclamation. Sorry, I'm kind of demonstrative. Don't look back and don't stop anywhere on the plain. Run to the mountains or you will be swept away. But Lot said to them, no, my lords, please, your servant has indeed found favor with you, and you have shown me great kindness by saving my life. But I can't run to the mountains. The disaster will overtake me and I will die. Look, this town is close enough for me to flee to. It is a small place. Please let me run to it. It's only a small place, isn't it, so that I can survive? And he said to him, all right, I'll grant your request about this matter too, and will not demolish the town you mentioned. Hurry up. Run to it, for I cannot do anything until you get there. Therefore, the name of the city is Zoar. The sun had risen over the land when Lot reached Zoar. So it was daybreak when the angels was like, okay, y'all got to go. And now the sun had risen over the land. So we're probably talking about an hour or 2, right? Then out of the sky, the Lord rained on Sodom and Gomorrah burning sulfur from the Lord. He demolished these cities, the entire plain, all the inhabitants of the cities, and whatever grew on the ground. He don't play. Okay, not even the vegetation survived. But Lot's wife looked back and became a pillar of salt. Early in the morning, Abraham went to the place where he had stood before the Lord. He looked down toward Sodom and Gomorrah and all of the land of the plain, and he saw that smoke was going up from the land like the smoke of a furnace. So it was, when God destroyed the cities of the plain, he remembered Abraham and brought Lot out of the middle of the upheaval when he demolished the cities where Lot had lived. Hold on, let me go back. Early in the morning, Abraham went to the place where he had stood before the Lord. He looked down towards Sodom and Gomorrah and all the land of the planet. He saw that the smoke was going up from the land like the smoke of a furnace. So it was. When God destroyed the cities of the plain, he remembered Abraham and brought Lot out of the middle of the upheaval when he demolished the cities where Lot had lived. Lot departed from Zoar, and so I guess he probably thought Lot had died. Lot departed from Zoar and lived in the mountains along with his 2 daughters. Because he was afraid to live in Zoar, instead he and his 2 daughters lived in a cave. Then the firstborn said to the younger, "Our father is old, and there is no man in the land to sleep with us, as is the custom of all the land. Come, let us get our father to drink wine, so that we can sleep with him and preserve our father's line." So they got their father to drink wine that night. And the firstborn came and slept with her father. He did not know when she lay down or when she got up. The next day, the firstborn said to the younger, "Look, I slept with my father last night. Let's get him to drink wine again tonight so you can go sleep with him and we can preserve our father's line." That night, they again got their father to drink wine, and the younger went and slept with him. He did not know when she lay down or when she got up. So both of Lot's daughters became pregnant by their father. The firstborn gave birth to a son named him Moab. He is the father of the Moabites of today. The younger also gave birth to a son, and she named him Ben-Ami. He is the father of the Ammonites of today. Sinister. Should have destroyed Lot too, apparently.